And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again, bringing you my thoughts and review from last night's episode of Arrow, Season 8, Episode 6. Now, this was a very fun, interesting episode here because it kind of had, excuse me, it kind of played off of those movies, Happy Death Day, if you ever, or Groundhog's Day, if you ever saw that old movie where somebody keeps reliving the same day over and over and over again. Except in this situation, Oliver and also Black Siren, aka Laurel Lance, from Earth 2. They keep living the same life. They're in an alternate world where Captain Lance is still alive, and they pretty much got to prevent his death from happening. And every time they fail, they restart. Every time they try to get closer to finding out who's behind it, they restart. And it's pretty much another test from the Monitor, pretty much proving to Oliver, hey, listen, man, you think that you could try to stop me and prevent your demise. It ain't gonna happen. You can try to stop me, but your demise is coming. Oliver's trying to find cracks in the system, I guess, in a way to try to maybe salvage himself a little bit or change fate if he can. But no matter how much time he tries, no matter how many people he saves, his fate is never gonna change. His fate's gonna where he's gonna supposedly die. Now we don't really know if he's really gonna die or officially or become the Spectre, as everybody keeps rumoring about that. So who knows? At this point, I think he's gonna survive in some way. He's gonna die, come back, and everybody's gonna think he's dead, except for maybe Barry and maybe Felicity. That's it. However, like I said, in this episode, we got to see the actor who plays Captain Lance again. He was great. It was great to see him again. I actually missed his character a lot. He was very cool. He was, that anti-hero that, Oliver always had to deal with. Not only was he a cop, but he was also the father of both the two women that he was been with. So that made it very difficult for Oliver. But then, of course, they kinged a friendship. They were pretty much like family. And then when he lost him, Oliver was kind of devastated a little bit about that. Laurel never got to really say goodbye to him, even though technically she's not really his daughter because she's from Earth 2, but he still loved Laurel as his own daughter, so that was pretty cool. Lila is part of hanging out with the Monitor, being his, I guess, disciple. And now, of course, we're on to the final test for Oliver at the end of this episode. Oliver ends up with Ling On You once again, but also brings in his daughter, his son, Connor, and John Diggle, and of course, Laurel Lance, which begs the question, what exactly is the Monitor setting up Oliver to do? Is he testing him because maybe he is going to die? And maybe if he passes this test, maybe he gets rewarded by coming back, but not really coming back. That's what's been bothering me in my back of my mind about this, because we all know Oliver's going to supposedly die in Crisis. We get that. But is he really going to die? That's been the question through my mind since last season, especially the end of last season. And big spoilers if you haven't seen last season's episode, especially the last episode. Oliver gets the warning. We get to see Felicity's last episode, and she enters a portal going to see Oliver. Now, what the heck does that mean? Does Oliver become the new Monitor? Does Oliver become the Spectre? Whatever this is, I think this is what's going to happen. And this is my guess. And I can be completely wrong. Who knows? But I think what Oliver's been doing, he's been trying to pass these tests. And he's been doing it with flying colors. He has tried a couple of times. But he's going to die. Normal circumstances, he's going to die in Crisis. We get that. But he's going to be rewarded in a way where he can come back, but not really come back. Think of like, how can I put it in another way? Have you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Remember, have you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean, especially number 2 and number 3? Spoilers for those movies if you haven't. Will Turner pretty much defeats the Flying Dutchman by stabbing the heart, and he becomes the new Flying Dutchman. But there's a big catch to it. He can live immortal. He's immortal. He can do whatever he wants. But he can only come back to the sea every 10 years. Maybe that's going to be the same situation with Oliver. He dies, he gets rewarded, but there's a catch. Maybe he has to live outside of the universe to guard everything around him. Maybe, nobody in his reality can know that he's alive. Maybe except Felicity, maybe even Barry for all I know. I'm guessing about Barry because Barry's with the Speed Force. He's probably going to sense Oliver. You know, even when in the Dark Knight Returns comic, Batman supposedly dies. Spoiler for that book and the movie. They bury him, and yet Superman still hears him, still alive. He winks and he disappears. Could be the same situation. Maybe Barry senses something from the Speed Force, and it tells him, "Hey, your buddy, he's still alive," because he's a god at that point. Maybe he'll become the new Monitor himself. Who knows? But I think this is what the Monitor is preparing Oliver to do for the crisis, because it's literally almost here, and I cannot wait. So next week's episode should be a big doozy. I seen some pictures, and it looks like it's going to be a fun episode. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And what do you think Oliver's last mission is for this? And what do you think his reward was going to be when he supposedly passes his tests? Do you think he's going to become the new Monitor, Spectre, whatever? Excuse me. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much, and have a good night.